All right, well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I hope you all had a nice Memorial Day weekend. All right, let's go ahead and get right to it today. We've got a lot to do. All right, so we're going to start off. We're going to loosen our joints. So our feet together. And we'll start by tilting our head back. And forwards. And back. And forwards. And side to side. Okay, let's roll our shoulders back. And forwards. All right, we'll separate the feet and do single shoulder. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. And now we'll turn the upper body with our elbows behind us. Okay. All right, we'll take our backs of our hands and place them together. Just roll them forward in a big circle, loosening up the elbow. And backwards. All right, interlock the fingers, roll the wrists around, forwards and backwards. Okay. All right. Put our hands on our hips and circle the hips. All right, another direction. All right, and we'll separate the feet and make a big circle with the upper body, bending the knees. And other way. Okay, bring our feet together, hands over the knees, and we'll circle the knees one way. And another direction. Okay, go onto one of our toes, circle the ankle one way. Another direction. Switch feet. And other way. All right, good. Okay, so today we're going to do the 8 pieces of brocade Qigong set, which includes some nice kind of stretching type movements in the Qigong set itself. So we'll skip our little kind of warm up stretch today, and we'll just go straight into the Qigong. All right, so we'll start with our feet together, knees slightly bent, back straight. Inhale, exhale. Small step to the left. Inhale, so bring up the arms. And exhale as the hands interlock on top of the head. Now inhale as you extend the hands up towards the ceiling, going up onto your toes. Exhale, back down. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling, the fingers still interlocked. And inhale as you stretch up. Under the toes, exhale, back down. Bringing the palms back to the top of the head. Inhale up, palms stay down this time. Exhale down. Inhale up, extending the palms upwards. And exhale down. Keep switching back and forth. Inhale. And exhale. Continue. Okay, last one. Okay. All right, now we'll separate the feet. We'll take the backs of our fists together, like we're kind of curling our chest in. Now we'll start going to your right. We'll inhale as we separate the hands, pull back the left fist to extend the right palm. We also call it a bridge hand, where all the fingers are bent except for the index finger. And exhale, bringing the fist back together. Inhale, going the other way. Pull back with the right fist, extend the palm to the side. Exhale, back to center. Inhale to the right. And exhale. Inhale to the left. And exhale. Watching the hand that's extended forward. Inhale. And exhale. Do a couple more. One more. Okay. And back to center. Bring our feet back to shoulder width. We'll inhale. So we raise the right hand up over the head, left hand to the bottom of your chest, at the side of the body, with palms facing upwards and downwards. And exhale, pressing away from the center of the body. Inhale, switching the position of the hands. And exhale, pressing up, down with the palms. Inhale, switching. And exhale. Inhale, switch. And exhale. And continue. One more. Lower the right hand so that both palms are down at about hip height with the palms facing the ground. Right, knees are still slightly bent. Right, and we'll inhale as we slowly turn our head to the right. And exhale. Back to center. Inhale, turning to the left. And exhale. Back to center. And we'll continue side to side. Inhale. And exhale. Continue. Back to center. Now I'm going to separate the feet to another horse stance. Place the cusps of the hands on the hips with the thumbs pointing backwards. And we're going to start. We'll start going to your right. So we'll exhale as you turn to the right, lower the body down, all the way down to center. And inhale as you come up the left side. And back to center. And exhale as you go down the left side, down to center. Inhale as you come up the right side. Exhale down the right side. Inhale up the left. Exhale down the left. Inhale up the right. And continue. Inhale, back to center. Bring your feet back to shoulder width. Now place the hands on the backs of the legs. And exhale as you bend down, sliding the hands along the backs of the legs. And inhale, slowly raising back up, keeping the hands on the backs of the legs. Go up onto our tiptoes and hold the breath for just a moment. And exhale, lowering back down, bending down. Inhale up, onto the tiptoes, and exhale down. Do a few more. Inhale back up. All right, let's separate our feet for another horse stance. And let's inhale as we chamber the fist. And exhale, punching with the right fist, the focused eyes. Inhale, back to center. Chambering the fist. Exhale, punching with the left hand. Inhale, turning the hand back over as you chamber. Exhale, punching with the right hand. Inhale. Exhale, punch with the left hand. Try to focus your eyes on a point just a few inches in front of each hand as we continue. Inhale, back to center, your feet back to shoulder width. And exhale as you lower the hands and bend down slowly, the hands in front of the legs. I'm just going to hold this position. You can grab your ankles or your toes if you like. Kind of pull yourself down into that kind of stretch position. Take just a couple of breaths. As you inhale, you slowly roll the back, straightening it as you come back up. You can arch the back backwards if it's comfortable for you, or you can just stand straight up. And in this arched position, looking up, we'll take a few more deep breaths, just the arms hanging down. And on your next exhale, lean forward, slowly lower yourself back down. And take a few more breaths in this position. Inhale as we slowly come back up. And exhale, arching the back. A few more deep breaths. Exhale, down for one more. Inhale, back up one last time, arching the back. Exhale, back to center. Let's do a few gathering the chi. Inhale, gather. Exhale, pressing down. Inhale. And exhale. Continue. Let's close with the infinity posture. Inhale. And exhale. Hands come down to the chest. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Exhale. One last breath as you bring your feet together. Okay, very good. As the 8 brocades or 8 pieces of brocade is the official translation, I believe. All right, let's go ahead and take just a short break, get a quick drink of water, and we'll come right back. We'll work on some Tai Chi techniques. All right, I'll see you in just a moment. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so if you tuned in on Friday, or if you didn't, I'll bring you up to speed. So on Friday, we basically kind of just worked our way all the way through the form. We did kind of a quick review of each kind of section of the form. I think we did each section kind of twice. We do like 2 or 3 moves at a time, and so I thought that was a good exercise for for kind of tying everything together and just getting a nice kind of overview, a nice review of all those movements, which are starting to build up now. Now we're getting into moves like 13 and 14 or something. And so the downside is maybe we didn't talk as much about the details as much. So there's kind of pros and cons to different ways of doing this type of training. And so I try to keep mixing it up. And so today I think I'd like to maybe just work on a few movements. We'll kind of focus a little more on the details of the movements, but we'll also take the time to go through the whole form as well. So I think it's good to kind of do a little bit of both, focusing on details as well as just practicing the whole form, kind of getting used to the flow, connecting all those movements together. Okay, and of course we'll work on some new movements as well. Make sure we have a solid chunk of time for that. All right, so let's why don't we start off just working on a few different movements today. So let's start off with a little bit of part wild horse's mane. Okay, and let's see, for this first one, why don't we do it facing each other just so we can so you can see my hands a little bit better. Okay, so let's start off, and I'll be your mirror image. All right, so what you're going to do is, let's see here, turn. All right, so I'll be your mirror image. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of turn 45 degrees to the right of your screen and go into a T stance. All right, so let's practice the footwork a little bit. All right, so now turn your hip to the right, extend the left heel. Now shift the weight to the left foot as you turn, pivoting to a bow stance, now facing kind of to the left of your screen. All right, shift the weight back. Open the toes slightly, shift the weight forward to a T stance on the left leg. Turn your hip to the left, extend the right heel to the corner, and the knee, shift and turn. Make sure you're pivoting on that back ball of the foot. Right back, forwards, T stance. Turn the hip and extend the heel. Bend the knee, shift, pivot to a bow stance. Okay, all right, very good. All right, let's practice the hands just for a moment. You'll remember I always say kind of grab and extend when we're working on this form. And the idea is that you're grabbing with the top hand, and you're extending the bottom hand. Okay, so sometimes we'll practice this movement where we're basically making circles with both hands. Okay, so why don't we just do that for a second. So with your right hand on top, left hand on the bottom, we're going to maybe just start with your top hand. Okay, making a counterclockwise circle, turning your hip as you do it. All right, and now add the bottom hand. It's also going to go in a counterclockwise circle, but it's going to go kind of equal and opposite to the other hand. So one hand goes to the right, the other hand goes to the left. Okay. So this should be part of that kind of grab and extend. You want it to be kind of a circular movement. And if you then turn it into a parting the mane, we grab and extend, and then we part. Okay, so we grab and extend, and we part. It should feel like a circular, flowing, kind of relaxed movement. Okay, keep your shoulders and elbows relaxed. So grab and extend and part. Right. Let's do it on the other side. So left hand on top, right hand on the bottom. Now make a circle, a clockwise circle with that left hand as you turn your hip. Now add the bottom hand. Okay, it'll be equal and opposite. And your hip should really follow the bottom hand. Okay, if you're wondering about how your hip should turn, you're using that hip to drive that bottom hand down and to the left, and you pull it around to the right. Okay, you can kind of go from just making circles. You can grab and extend and part. Grab and extend and apart. And really try to relax the shoulders, the elbows, and even the wrist. Notice the hand is coming down. It's kind of pulling down. The wrist is kind of relaxed as you pull it down. Using the hip to bring that right arm around. Okay? All right, good. All right, now let's put all that together. So let's start in a right T stance. So your weight's on your right foot, facing, again, 45 degrees to the right of your screen with your right hand on top. We're going to grab with the top hand, extend the bottom hand in the heel, and the knee, shift and turn, pivot on the rear ball of the foot, back, forwards, forming a ball with the hands. The hands just turn over. Go into a T stance, grab and extend, the circular movement, part the mane. Back, forwards, T stance, grab and extend, part the mane. Okay, all right, let's do that one more time and really just try to tie those two steps together, that grab and extend. Try not to stop. Just try to keep going all the way through it, okay? All right, so facing just to the right of your screen in the T stance on the right foot, right hand on top. Grab and extend and part the mane. Try not to stop. Back, forwards, forming a ball. Grab and extend, part the mane. Back, forwards, grab and extend, part the mane. Okay, all right, very good. All right, let's see here. Let's do the move right after that. So let's go from our last part the mane. You just parted the mane one more time with the left hand forward, and the left foot forward. All right, so let's take a half step with the back foot, about half the distance between your feet, keeping the toes pointed towards the corner. Shift the weight back. Left palm comes down over the right elbow. Inhale as you raise the arms up into the right. Exhale, pulling the left hand down, going up onto your left toe for a cat stance. You should be facing the screen now. Okay. And you'll notice my top hand, you want to again keep the wrist loose, almost like you're holding a can of soda. Okay, you're holding something up here. I got the feathers of our crane's wing kind of curled in up here. So you'll see a general curvature to the arm. The palm of the left hand then is facing the ground, just out to the side and a little bit in front of the body as well. So you get a little bit of a curvature to both arms. Okay, and you should try to make them symmetrical too. Okay, you can kind of use my image to see. Maybe I'm not symmetrical now, but now I'm good. Okay. All right, good. All right, so let's see. Let's do a little bit more before we kind of work our way through the whole form and work on some new material. Okay, we're doing good on time so far. All right, let's do a little bit of brush knee now. All right, so again, we'll be facing the camera or facing the screen in the camera. All right, let's do a little footwork. So we're in our cat stance, just like we just were, okay, from our white crane spreads its wings. So you're up on your weight's on your right foot, your left toe is forward. All right, now turn your hip to your left. Now turn to the right. And turn back to center, step forward with the left foot. Shift the weight forward to a bow stance. Okay, so front toes pointed ahead, back toes to the corner. Shift the weight back. Open the toes 45 degrees, turning the hip the opposite way. Turn your hip to the left as you shift the weight forward. Step, turning back to center to another bow stance. Shift the weight back. Toes open to the right as the waist turns to the left. Turn to the right as you shift your weight forward. Step, turn back to center, bow stance. Okay, all right, good. All right, let's see. Now let's add the hands. let's practice the hands just for a moment. So let's start in our white crane spreads its wings, hands. We won't worry about the feet. All right, now turn your hip to the left and block with that right arm. Switch the hands. So the left hand comes up, right hand goes down by the waist. Turn to the right, blocking with the left hand. Fingertips, nose height. The right hand comes up, turning the palm upwards. We'll pass through this posture here, where one hand is, the long hand is facing the ceiling, the other hand's facing the ground. And the hands curl in. As you turn back to center, brushing the knee with that left hand, extending a palm strike with the right hand. Okay, and again, front hand, nose height with the fingertips. The bottom hand will be palm facing the ground as after you finish that brush knee. And it'll essentially be at the same spot as white crane spreads its wings. Okay, so just kind of out and in front of the body a little bit. All right, now turn to your left, or I'm sorry, turn to your right and block and twist. So bottom hand blocks, the other hand makes a counterclockwise circle. You'll turn back to the left and block with that right hand, just like in the earlier transition. The left hand comes up, palm to the ceiling, and curl in. As you turn back to center, brush knee. All right, one more. Let's block and twist as you turn your body to the left. Now turn to the right as you block with the left hand, the right hand following the waistline. Right hand comes up, and curl in, so brush knee, strike with the palm one more time. Okay, all right, let's put that together. All right, so we'll go towards the screen again. I'll continue to be your mirror image. So the left foot is forward. We just spread our wings. Okay, so the right hand is up, left hand is down. All right, turn to your left and block that top arm. Switch the hands. Left hand comes up, right hand goes down. Turn to the right and block. Right hand comes up. We step as the hands curl in, brush knee. Shift the weight back, block and twist as you open your toes. Shift the weight forward, blocking. Left hand comes up, we step, brush knee. Back, block and twist as you open the toes. Forward, blocking. Right hand comes up, step and brush knee. Okay, all right, very good. From here, let's practice play the lute again. All right, let's take a half step, that back foot, grabbing with that right hand, shift the weight back, pulling the hand to the waist as you turn your hip to the right, and the left hand comes up, and the front toes come up. Okay, so play the lute. All right, let's do that again. So from our last brush knee, so the left foot is forward, the right hand is extended. Half step, reach out and grab, shift the weight back, turning the hip to the right, pulling the right hand in as the left hand and the left toes come up. We finish in a 7-star stance. Okay, so from the side. All right, okay, good. All right, let's see here. I don't think we'll have time to do all the moves in the form today, but we'll do a couple more. All right, so we've been going sequentially so far. Why don't we just keep up with that? So let's work on repulse monkey, step backwards. Okay, so let's start. Let's do the hands and the feet together for this one. So let's start from our play the lute posture, facing the screen. So left foot forward, left hand in front. All right, so we'll start number one. The bottom hand comes down and up. Wrist is relaxed, palm facing down. Number two, the palms turn up. Number three, the right hand comes to your ears, you step back. Number four, shift your weight back to that back foot, turning the body. Right hand passes over the left hand as it repulses forward, and the left hand pulls back to your hip area. Okay, one, left hand comes up. Two, palms up. Three, left hand to the ears, you step back. Four, repulse with the left hand. Right hand comes back to the hip. and you'll end in a cat stance. Okay, so your right foot is pointed towards the corner, all the weight's on that leg. You're up on your left toe. 1, hand comes up. 2, palms up. 3, hand to the ears, you step back. 4, repulse, cat stance. 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, very good. Okay, let's see here. Let's do just a couple more minutes of review. All right, let's see here. Let's do repulse monkey one more time. I feel like it'd be good to repeat that one more time. All right, so let's go from play the lute. So your left foot, left hand is forward. 7 star stance. All right, 1, 2, 3, stepping back. 4, repulse. 1, 2, 3, stepping back. 4, repulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. All right, let's see. Why don't we do just a little bit more? Let's do one more, and then we'll work on some. We'll kind of jump ahead, work on some new material, and then at the end of class, we'll do the whole form. Okay, you can kind of get a feel for connecting all those moves together. All right. So let's do the one right after repulse monkey. So let's do a grasp the sparrow's tail. All right, so why don't we do this one? Let's see, I'll do this one facing you, but we're going to do this one in the direction that we normally do it in the form, okay? So instead of going towards the screen, I'll be able to face you if I just mirror the image and we go side to side. That way you can see the details a little bit more, okay? All right, so if you're doing the form from right to left, you would finish with your left foot forward and your left hand extended in a, okay? So in a cat stance. We just did our last repulse, okay? So let's start from right there. I'm going to be your mirror image so you can see me. All right, so right hand by the hip, left hand extended. All right, so the right hand is just going to come out and around as the left hand comes down and underneath. We pull in the toe to form a ball in a T stance, okay? So just like at the beginning of part of the main. All right, so now we're going to step directly to your left. As you step with the heel, reach out and grab with that top hand, okay? And it's a little bit of a kind of a wave-like motion with that hand. It's not just straight. It kind of goes up, okay, as if you're going up and you're grabbing, okay? So we'll step, reach out and grab, and ward off. As you shift the weight forward to a bow stance, left hand is extended, shoulder height. That right hand pulls back to the side of the hip. Right, now reach out, and now the left hand, the palm will be facing down. The right hand, the palm is facing up, and pull back, keeping the front toes down. Now the right fingers go to the wrist of the left hand, and the hands come up the body as you turn towards your left foot, and press, extending the left back hand forward, assisting with the right hand. Now separate. Keep the hands at shoulder height as you shift the weight back. Keep the elbows tucked in. Rolling the shoulders back and down as you sink the hands. And shift the weight forward to a bow stance and push. Okay, good. Let's do that again, and then we'll do it on both sides. All right, just reviewing some details. All right, so let's start in our right T stance. So you're on your weight's on your right foot, right hand on top. Right step, reach out and grab, ward off. Reach out, pull back. Fingers to the wrist, turn, hands to the chest, press. Separate, roll back, front toes come up on this one. Sink and push. Bow stance. All right, now shift your weight back, and as you do so, flatten your hands so the palms are facing the ground. Make a big turn to the right. As you pivot on that left heel, shift your weight to that left foot and form a ball, T-stance on the other side. Right step, reach out and grab, ward off on this side. Reach out, pull back. Fingers to the right wrist, come up the body, turn, press. Separate, hands, roll back, front toes come up, sink and push. Okay, good. Let's do that one more time. So, T-stance, right hand on top, weight on the right leg. Step to the left, reach out, ward off. Reach out and pull back. Fingers to the wrist, turn and press. Separate, back, and push. Right. Hands are flat as you shift the weight back and pivot. Big turn to the right. Shift the weight, form a ball, T-stance. Step, reach out and grab, ward off. Reach out, pull back. Fingers to the right wrist and press. Separate, back, and push. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so that was a nice review. We got through a good number of forms, but it was good to go a little bit slower and talk about the details of some of those movements as well. So maybe we'll do the same thing on Friday, and we'll kind of work our way through the moves after that. So the single whip, cloud hands, and as we get closer to kind of these newer movements now that we're working on. Okay, so let's take a little bit of time now and work on some new stuff. So we're going to kind of jump ahead a few moves, and then before we finish the class, we'll come back and we'll do a full run through of the entire form, just to kind of keep those repetitions going for those of you who are more familiar with most of the moves, as well as just to kind of get a better sense of the transitions and just the general kind of flow of connecting all these movements together. Okay. All right. So let's start with a little bit of new material. We're going to work on. Let's go from the high pad on horse, and from there we're going to go into the two kicks. So you'll remember later in the forms we're going to do some single whips and some cloud hands, another single whip. We're going to get into the high pad on horse. Okay, and then from there we do a couple of kicks, and then we're going to do a couple of a new move we learned last time, or we started to learn last time, which is just called lower body and stand on one leg. Okay, so it's kind of a combination of essentially two moves, kind of like grasp the sparrow's tail. We have those, ward off, roll back, press, and push, are the four pieces of that one. So this new move we're working on today is called lower body and stand on one leg. And it's one move technically in the list of 24 moves, but similar to grasp the sparrow's tail, it's actually two moves. And one of them, you can, they each kind of have their own names as well. So instead of just calling it right lower body and stand on one leg, or left lower body and stand on one leg, so we do this move on both sides as well. And the idea is you can separate into separate movements. One that they often call is snake creeps down, or snake creeps through the grass as your hand kind of goes down. And then the other one is called golden rooster, stands on one leg. Okay, and this is a crane stance posture with hands that are kind of similar to our play the lute, except the back hand is a little more back to the side. Okay, and again, this is the more challenging part of the form, but at least physically. But there are, of course, alternative ways to do these movements that you can kind of work your way into more and more challenging ways of doing it. The more you practice and the more you strengthen all your legs and all those tendons and everything that kind of contribute, the flexibility, the strength, all the things that allow you to do those more challenging versions. Okay, so let's do our two kicks, and then we're going to work on right lower body and stand on one leg. Okay, so we just did our last single whip. Let's go from single whip. So facing the left of your screen, we'll go into single whip posture. All right, we'll take a half step, shift weight back, palms up. Right hand comes to the ear, and the right hand presses forward as you pull in the left hand and the left toes for a high pat on horse. Okay, now step towards the left corner, 45 degrees, and do a spear hand with the left hand. And now turn that hand over and separate the hands. You shift your weight back, shift your weight forward, crossing the arms, right hand in front. And now you're going to as you bring up the hands, bring up the knee. And you're going to separate the arms, extend the hands at a 90-degree angle. And that right foot follows the right hand. So we do a right heel kick in that direction. Okay? All right, now I'll do I'll do a modified version now to make it a little bit easier. Okay? So let's go from high pat on horse. So let's see here. Right hand forward, left toes, and left hand just pulled in. All right, step to the left and spear. Turn over the hand, separate as you shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward, crossing the arms. As you bring the hands up, bring up the knee. Now as you separate the hands, simply extend the right heel towards the right corner in a 7-star stance. Right, now turn to the right, facing that right foot. Bring the hands into the hip. And now shift the weight forward as the hands come out and around. Strike the ears with both fists. Okay. Now shift your weight back and make a big turn to the left as you pivot on the right heel. All right, so you're going to turn away from your screen for a moment. All right, and now you can look over your left shoulder if you need to see the screen. But shift your weight back to that right foot. Hands come down. We're going to cross the arms again. Left hand on the outside this time. And now you can extend the left heel kick and separate the hands again with the left hand following the left foot, right hand out to the side. Okay? If you just want to set the foot down, you can again bring up the hands, separate, and place the left heel down on the ground. Okay? All right, so regardless of which way you're doing, if you're just setting the foot down or if you're doing the kick, all right, now you're going to essentially, I'll go from the extended on the ground version. All right, now turn. What you're going to do is your right hand is going to become a crane's beak. Okay, so it's just simply turning a crane's beak. The left hand comes back to your right shoulder. And now that left hand's going to sink down as you shift your weight forward to the left foot. The hand comes up in front of the body in what I would call like a knife hand. Okay, so the side of the hand is forward. And that back hand goes from a crane's beak. It's just going to simply come down and turn so that your crane's beak is extended towards the ceiling, okay? And try to get that arm as high as you can, as far as is comfortable, for your shoulder, okay? All right, let's do that again from the left heel kick. All right, so let's kind of put your weight on your right foot. And again, you'll be kind of facing away from your screen, so you can kind of look over your left shoulder to look at the screen, okay? All right, so shift the weight forward to that right foot. And the hands come down. Cross the arms, left hand in front. Bring up the hands. Extend the heel kick as you separate the hands. Okay? If you're doing the regular kick version now, you're going to bend the knee, bring the foot back as you form the crane's beak. And the hand comes back. Okay? Otherwise, you'll just have your heel on the ground. Either way is fine. All right, and now you're going to sink and extend that foot as far as you can. This is going to go down into what we call drop stance. The left hand comes down. Snake creeps through the grass. So it's like your hand is the snake kind of going through the grass along the ground. And we shift our weight and turn, pivoting on the heels to a bow stance. And that left hand is extended in front, the knife edge hand, and the crane's beak pointed towards the ceiling, extended back behind you. Okay? All right, let's do that again, and then we'll add the golden rooster. Okay, so again, facing not necessarily directly away from your screen, you'll be kind of away from your screen and then slightly turn to the left, because we're kind of making our way back to the right side of the room of your workspace. Okay, so you should be able to kind of look over your left shoulder pretty easily if you're kind of turned at that angle. All right, so with our right foot forward, we'll shift our weight forward. Hands come down, cross the arms, left hand in front, and bring up the knee. Extend the foot and the hands, 90-degree angle. Now we'll form a crane's beak. Left hand comes back to the shoulder, kind of like as if you're blocking in front of the face. And now we're going to sink, extend the foot. Snake creeps down through the grass. And we pivot on the heels as we turn to the right side of your space now, with the left hand extended and the right crane's beak back pointed towards the ceiling. All right. Now, and the length of your stance can vary. If you went way down into this drop stance, you'll end up in a really long bow stance. Okay. If you went from here, then you'll simply turn, block, go down, and come forward to a shorter bow stance, which is totally fine. So either way, you're in a left bow stance, left hand extended, facing the right side of your room with the crane's beak up towards the ceiling. All right, now from here, shift the weight back to the back foot, open the toes 45 degrees to the left, so just like when we're doing like a brush knee. And now shift your weight forward to that left foot, and that left hand is going to pull down to your side of your body, and then you're going to release the crane's beak with the right hand, and you're going to bring up the right hand in front of the body to a knife hand, and come up either into a a crane stance, so your right knee will be up, or if that's too much right now, what I would say is bring up that back foot for a 7-star stance. Okay, so either way, you want most of your weight on your left leg. Okay, so let's do that little transition again. Left foot is forward, left hand extended, right crane's beak back behind you. Shift the weight back, open the toes, shift the weight forward as the left hand pulls down. The right hand comes up in front of the body to either a 7-star stance or, if you can, a crane stance. Okay, so the knee's nice and high. The right foot is a little bit to the left, kind of protecting the knee. Okay. And so the hands are actually quite similar to, again, I was saying before, play the lute. And the idea is this is similar to play the lute in that it's another kind of bracing movement. Okay. With play the lute, you'll remember we stepped forward, we grabbed, we came back, and we braced on this kind of center line. You know, my hands were kind of along the center. You can imagine my hand had grabbed their wrist, and I was kind of bracing their arm with my other hand coming up underneath, kind of jarring them, basically, kind of holding them in this kind of position. All right, so the golden rooster stands on one leg movement is very similar, okay? So we're coming up. We just did our, if I do it facing you, my left hand is in front, and I'm grabbing, and I'm pulling the arm down as I come up underneath with the other hand, and I go into, this time, a crane stance, or again, just like play the lute, you could also just do a 7-star stance if the crane stance is too challenging, okay? So the only real difference in the hands is that for golden rooster, that left hand comes down more to the side, okay? We've kind of turned our body to the side, but the hand is down to the side of the body, whereas with play the lute, the hands were very much along your center line, okay? So let's do that one more time, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the whole form all the way up to there, okay? So let's go from the left heel kick, okay? So you can either have the kick extended, or you can just have the heel down. Left hand forward, facing, again, the right side of your space, looking over your left shoulder if you need to look at the screen. And the right hand will be at a 90-degree angle, so going away from your screen. All right, so right hand becomes a crane's beak. Left hand blocks in front of the face, back to the right shoulder. And then it's going to dip down through the grass. You shift your weight forward to a bow stance. The right hand, the beak has just dropped down, facing the ceiling. Shift the weight back, open the toes, come forward, pulling the left hand down to the side of the body as the right hand comes up, and your right foot goes either into a 7-star stance or a crane stance. Okay, one more time from the left heel kick. All right, I'll do it the normal way this time. So left heel kick, separating the hands, crane's beak, block, bend the knee, drop down, drop stance, snake creeps down, left hand comes up, pivot on the heels, crane beak behind you, shift the weight back, open the toes, shift the weight forward, left hand comes down, right hand and right knee come up. Okay, good. And for those of you who are working on that drop stance, there's just a few details for you on that stance. So, and you'll notice in a lot of our stances, one of the toes is kind of pointed 45 degrees, okay? And that's the case here too. If you're doing a drop stance, in this case, the front foot, the long foot, the toes are actually going to be pointed directly to the side, okay? And the back toes are actually going to be open 45 degrees, kind of back behind you to the corner, okay? So if I drop down, again, the front foot is directly pointed that way, and the back foot is kind of pointed away 45 degrees, okay? Before you then come up and do your crane stance, okay? All right, so we'll keep working on that on Friday. I know this is a challenging move, so but hopefully by Friday we can work our way through these kicks and these two. We're going to do this move again. We'll practice this a little bit more. The right lower body and stand on one leg, and then we're basically just going to do the same move on the other side. So we're going to turn. It'll be easier because you'll be facing the screen this time. We'll do another lower body and another golden rooster on the other side, okay? All right, so now, before we close out today, let's do the whole form from start to finish, okay? Just get a feel for that flow. All right, so we're gonna start on the right side of your space, facing the screen, of course. And we're gonna work our way from right to left and back and forth from right to left. All right, so knees bent, back straight, head lifting. We'll inhale. Exhale. Small step. Inhale. Exhale. Pressing down. Bending the knees. Try to keep those knees bent. Shift and turn to the right, to the left, and back to the right. Forming a ball T stance, facing the corner. Grab and extend. Part the mane to the left corner. Back. Forwards, grab and extend, part the mane to the right corner. Back, forwards, forming a ball, T stance. Grab and extend, part the mane to the left corner. Half step, left hand over the right elbows, you shift the weight back, raising the arms, inhale, exhale. Cat stance, spreading our wings. All right, let's take a few steps back just to work within our small space here. From our cat stance, turn to the left and block. Left hand up, right hand down. Turn to the right and block. Right hand comes up as you step and brush knee. Back, block and twist. Open the toes, forward blocking. And hand comes up, step, brush knee. Back, open the toes, block and twist. Forward blocking to the right. Step and brush knee. Half step, grab, shift the weight back, and play the loop. 7-star stance. Right. 1, right hand up. 2, palms up. 3, stepping back, right hand to the ear. 4, repulse. Cat stance. 1, 2, 3, stepping back, 4, repulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. From here, pull on the left hand, left toes, form a ball, T stance. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Step, reach out and grab, ward off. Reach out, pull back. Right fingers to the left wrist, turn and press. Separate, back, push. Shift the weight back, make a big turn to the right, to the left, form a ball, T stance. Step, ward off. Reach out, pull back. Fingers to the wrist, turn and press. Separate and push. Turn to the left, block with the left hand, right hand goes down. Shift to the right, block with the right hand. Form a crane's beak in a T stance. Left hand comes up. Turn to the left, step, and single whip. Pivot, turn to the right, lower the hand, release the crane's beak. Block with the left hand. Feet together, block with the right hand. Step to the left and block. Feet together, block with the right hand. Step to the left and block. Feet together, block to the right. Step to the left and block. Feet together, block to the right. Crane's beak. T stance. Block to the left with the left hand. Step and single whip. Half step. Shift the weight back. Right hand to the ear. And high pat on horse. Extend the right hand, left toes in. Step to the left, to the corner, spear. Turn over the hand, separate as you come back. Forwards, crossing the arms. Hands and knee come up, and right heel kick to the right corner. Hands come in, palms to the ceiling. The foot comes in and down to 7-star stance. Shift the weight forward, strike the ears with both fists. All right, shift the weight back, separate the hands as you make a big turn to the left. Shift the weight to the right foot, hands come down, cross the arms, come up, and left heel kick. Crane's beak with the right hand. Left hand comes back to the shoulders, you bend the knee again, or simply place the foot down. Drop stance, snake creeps down. Forward to a bow stance, back arm to the ceiling, back, open the toes, forward, golden rooster, stands on one leg. Okay, or simply with the heel, either way. All right, very good. Okay, so yeah, we're making good progress. We're slowly but surely making our way through this more challenging part of the form. I know it's tough. It's a lot of directional changes, a lot of challenging, physically challenging movements, and it's kind of hard to teach as well because we're changing directions. I'm trying to do it so you can see me looking over your shoulder. So, but it'll get easier from here. Once we get through these two movements, really, the rest of the form, to me, gets a lot easier. So hopefully it'll feel easier for you as well. But we'll keep taking our time, getting lots of repetition, and hopefully more and more will start to sink in. All right, well, thanks again for joining me today. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll come back to stretch if anyone wants to stretch out as well. And for those who aren't, though, we'll go ahead and bow out. We'll take our right fist and our left hand and bow. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your day. All right. Anyone sticking around? Let's go ahead and stretch it out. Okay, so let's start off with this is the same usual routine I often do. So yeah, if you're standing, you don't want to get down on the ground. This first one, you're going to put your one foot up on the on a chair or another piece of furniture. You're going to sink in, keeping that back leg straight. Okay. If you're on the ground, you're okay with getting up and down. Have a right foot forward, left foot back extended. Right arm hooking underneath the knee, pushing forward on that leg. So you keep your back leg straight. Sink. Let your hips sink down. All right, lower the knee. Okay, if you're standing, you can do a standing quad stretch or just hold onto a chair, grab that foot, pull the foot in towards your trunk. Okay, if you're on the ground, the knee simply goes down. Grab the left foot with the right hand. Pull that foot forward as you drive the hips forward, keeping the back straight. Pulling that foot in towards the trunk. All right, we'll do the other side. Okay, so the left foot's forward now, up on the furniture or just in front of you on the ground. And we'll sink into that one. All right. Right knee down. If you're standing up, you can just grab that other foot and stretch the other quad on the ground. Grab that right foot with the left hand. Push the hips forward. Okay. All right. If you're standing up, you can sit down, cross your legs, and simply hug that knee towards your chest to kind of stretch the outside of the hip. Right, if you're on the ground, you'll be right knee forward, left foot roughly 90-degree angle if you can. Sink over that right knee with the back leg extended. Right. If you're on the ground, you can now straighten the upper body. Push down on the right knee and the right hand, and the back of the left hip with the left hand. Keeping your shoulders forward. You should feel it stretching the top of your left quad. All right. Let's add an extra challenge to that. Let's grab the left foot with the right hand and continue to stretch the quad a little more while maintaining the stretch on our right hip, keeping those knees as separated as you can. All right. Okay, if you're seated, you can cross cross your left knee over now and hug that left knee to your chest. Or if you're on the ground, left knee forward, right leg back, and we'll sink over the left knee. If you're on the ground, you lean back. Left hand on the left knee, right hand behind the right hip. Pushing down, back straight. Shoulders and hips forward. I add a little extra challenge with bend the knee. Grab the right foot with the left hand. Pull that foot forward. Separating the knees as much as you can. Okay. All right, now you can either sit down in a chair and put your feet up on another chair if you like, or a coffee table. Or if you're on the ground, you can simply sit on the ground, facing forward, legs extended. Interlock the fingers. Inhale up. Exhale, folding forward at the hips. Pulling the chest towards the feet. Try not to kind of slump over too much. All right. All right, let's cross the, I'll be a mirror for this. We'll cross the right foot over, grab the outside of the foot, and cross, stretching, turning the foot inward, stretching the outside of the leg and the ankle, turning your upper body the opposite way to allow you to extend it as far as you can. It doesn't have to be totally straight, but if you can, try to straighten that leg. We'll cross over that leg. Take your left elbow to the outside of the right knee, twisting, stretching the upper body. You can place your right hand in what we call a tiger claw, bending the knuckle closest to the nail, pressing down on that hand as you straighten your back. This helps strengthen the fingers as well. Okay, come back to center. We'll cross over the left leg, grabbing the foot, stretching the outside of the leg, twist your upper body. Cross over, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, twisting. Back hand in the tiger claw, straighten your fingers. All right, back to center. All right, you can tell it's a nice spring day out there. You can hear the birds chirping. Okay, let's separate the feet now. If you're up on a chair, you can even grab 2 chairs or a chair and a coffee table or something. Just do what works for you. All right, we'll separate the feet as far wide as we can. We'll inhale and exhale, folding forward at the hips. Again, trying to keep the back straight. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Try to go a little bit deeper. All right, one more. Inhale back. Exhale a little bit further. All right, if you like, you can grab your ankles, your toes, pull yourself forward. All right. Arms up overhead. We'll fall to the left. Keeping the chest turned out, stretching the side of the body. Right, other side. Okay, back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Pull the feet in. Our hands around the front of the feet. We'll flap our butterfly wings for a moment. Open up the hips, pelvis. All right, we'll inhale. Exhale. Falling forward, pressing down on the knees, the elbows. Okay, all right, good. All right, let's get back up on our feet. All right, do just a few more here. All right, we'll separate the feet as wide as is comfortable for you. All right, and we'll turn those, let's say, left toes to the left side. All right, with your right arm on top, left hand on the bottom. We'll sink down. Try to keep your back straight. Let your hips really sink, stretching the inside of the pelvis. You can also push out on the knee, that left elbow. And if this is as far as you can go, that's fine too. Whatever feels right for you. You don't necessarily have to go way down here. Okay, we'll do the other side. So the left toes are forward, right toes are to the side now. And again, if this is as far as you go, then good. As long as you can feel it stretching the insides of these legs, sink down as far as you can. Try to keep the feet flat on the floor. Okay, let's go back to the other side. We're going to stretch kind of the underside of the leg. Go down, this time with the toes up. You might need to wiggle your heel to keep the feet separated, allow you to keep your other foot flat on the ground. All right, we'll just sink down as low as you can, pushing out on the knee, elbow. You can do this one bent over or leaning back. If you have a wall, you can do this one up against the wall. All three of these kind of side-to-side stretches are good up against the wall, keeping your back straight that way. But sometimes I feel like I get a better stretch in this one when I bend forward. So just do what feels right for you. Other side. Okay, do one more of these kind of side-to-side ones. If you can, this time try to point out both sets of toes. If not, you can still have one set of toes pointed forwards. All right, and we're going to sink one more time, and just really sinking the hips, stretching the pelvis, and this time stretching the kind of inside of that extended leg as well. Okay, other side. Okay. All right, now let's get into our side splits. And I'll talk about some alternatives you can do as well. I mean, I like to take off my shoes for these, but you don't necessarily have to. If you do, just be careful. You don't want to slide too far and overstretch. All right, so if these are too difficult, I would say just do the stretch where you're sitting down on the floor and you have your both feet separated, kind of stretching forward again. Okay, you can do that on the floor or again on a chair using a couple other chairs to hold your feet up. All right. Otherwise, for a regular center split, keep our feet flat. Keep your hips between your heels. Supporting upper body with the hands as you sink down. The lower you get, the bottoms of your feet might start to turn out. As you feel yourself getting lower, getting better with this stretch, you can even bring your hands in a little closer to the body and try to straighten your upper body a little bit more as well. Forget to breathe. All right, we'll retreat out of that a little bit. Turn up the toes, one up onto your heels, and exhale, sink. Let's come out of that carefully. Okay. All right, now we'll do our side splits. If side splits again are too much, I would say try some stretches with just one foot forward, and then the other foot can just kind of be curled into the side. Stretch that way, or you can even turn the foot back behind you. That way, when you stretch forward, you'll kind of feel it in your quad a little bit as well, which is very similar to a side split type stretch as well. All right, so for the regular side split, start with your right foot forward. Try to keep your legs in a straight line, and we'll sink forwards. You can use your hands to support your upper body, or you can have them out to the sides, shoulders forward, using that body weight to sink further into the stretch. All right, and we'll do the other side. Sink forwards. All right. Okay. All right. That's a good stretch. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your day. We'll bow to each other. All right. Have a good one. See you next time.